Good morning, this is your media report for Tuesday, May the 19th, 2015. I'm Sergeant Lori McGee, Media Relations Officer for the St. John Police Force. Since Friday morning, May the 15th, police have responded to 373 calls for service. We would like to hear from anyone that has any information concerning any of our calls or investigations. We can be reached at 506-648-3333, at our email police@stjohn.ca, or you can do it anonymously through the Provincial Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-8477 or on their website at crimemb.ca. On Friday morning at 10:48, police were called to a residence on Kennebecasis Drive for a break-and-enter that occurred the previous evening. The caller reports entry was gained through a rear door and a laptop was stolen. The incident remains under investigation. At 12:50 p.m., a caller reported a theft of a bicycle from her backyard after police were called to Lewin Close residence. There were no suspects at this time. At 1:33 p.m., a female reported a theft of a backpack containing a skateboard from her vehicle the previous evening. The caller observed two males walking on Bayside Drive carrying the stolen item. The two males were arrested near the Superstore. A 26-year-old male was arrested for possession of stolen property and released. A second male, aged 19, was held in custody for possession of stolen property as well as for an outstanding arrest warrant for failing to attend court. At 2:11 p.m., police were called to the Superstore on Somerset Street for a theft. A 36-year-old male was arrested for shoplifting and released to appear in court at a later date. At 2:32 p.m., police were called to the area of Victoria Street North for a 14-year-old female who was initially reported as a runaway and kicking at a door in the area. When approached by the officer, she dug her nails into the officer's arm and was subsequently taken into custody for assaulting a police officer. She was later released on conditions with a future court date. At 4:17 p.m., police were called to Plaza Avenue West, where the caller reported his vehicle had been gone through and a cell phone camera and GPS were taken. The incident remains under investigation at this time. At 6:45 p.m. Friday evening, police were called to the Aquatic Center for a report of a theft from a locker. The incident remains under investigation. At 10:40 p.m., a 35-year-old female was arrested for an outstanding, 35-year-old male was arrested for an outstanding theft from Shoppers Drug Mart Lansdowne Plaza. The accused was released and will appear in court at a later date. At 12:50 a.m., police were called to the Irving Fairville Boulevard for a theft. A 26-year-old male was arrested for theft. The accused was later released and will appear in court at a later date. At 2:29 a.m., a 15-year-old female was arrested for violation of a court order after police were called to Princess Street for an intoxicated female attempting to engage in a fight with another female. She was held in custody for a court appearance. At 10:52 a.m., police were called to the Howard Court area for a report of a fight involving weapons. Those who remained were not cooperative with police. There were no injuries reported, and the incident remains under investigation. At 11:48 a.m., police were investigating an incident at the St. John Regional Hospital when they were made aware that a male was brought into the previous evening with stab wounds. Attempts were made to interview the 34-year-old victim, but he refused to cooperate with police at this time, and the incident remains under investigation. On Saturday evening at 7:47 p.m., a 56-year-old male was arrested on Main Street North for violating a condition of his probation after police received an 911 call and found the accused to be intoxicated. He was later released and will appear in court at a later date. At 9:32 p.m., police were called to Leinster Street for a domestic assault. A 38-year-old female was arrested for assaulting her common-law spouse. The victim sustained minor injuries to his face. The accused was later released on conditions and will appear in court at a later date. At 9:58 p.m., police were called to Celebration Street for a vehicle that had the window smashed out. Two males aged 26 and 22 were located in the vicinity and were questioned and admitted to their involvement in the damage. They were released on conditions and will appear in court at a later date. At 11:32 p.m., police were called to Sewell Street after receiving reports of a 20-year-old male being sprayed with bear spray. The victim would not cooperate when questioned by police, although the incident does remain under investigation. At 11:40 p.m., a 29-year-old female was arrested for a theft that occurred from the liquor store on Plaza Avenue earlier in the day. She was released on conditions and will appear in court at a later date. At 1:12 a.m., police were in the area of the Fish and Brew pub when they noted an intoxicated male who they checked. A 28-year-old male was arrested for violation of his probation. He was later released and will appear in court at a later date. At 3:13 a.m., a 52-year-old female was arrested for impaired driving when police were called to Russell Street for another matter and noted a female entering a vehicle. A check was conducted and she showed signs of impairment. She was subsequently charged for refusing the breathalyzer. The accused was later released and will appear in court at a later date. On Sunday morning at 10:05 a.m., police received a call to the area of Cindy Lee Street for a male checking doors and windows of various homes. A 21-year-old male was arrested in the area for an attempt to break and enter into a residence after a window was found open. The accused was released and will appear in court at a later date. At 3:36 p.m., police were called to Brookville Transport on Alloy Drive for a report of a theft of a steel platform, also known as a catwalk, from a truck parked in the lot. On Sunday evening at 7:57 p.m., a 25-year-old female flagged down police and advised that she was attacked by another female and sprayed with what is believed to be bear spray as she exited a residence on Peters Street. The incident currently remains under investigation. At 9:46 p.m., a 22-year-old male was arrested for breaking an outside pane of glass on the Union Street stairwell of One Peel Plaza, the police headquarters. The accused was held in custody. At 9:47 p.m., police were called to the Victoria Street North address for a 911 hang-up call, which was a domestic assault. A 38-year-old male was arrested for assaulting his girlfriend. She was not injured, and the accused was held for court appearance. At 3:03 a.m., police responded to Waterloo Street for a single vehicle accident. Witnesses reported the vehicle being operated at a high rate of speed traveling down Paddock Street and struck a pole as it turned onto Waterloo Street. There was significant damage to the vehicle. The 26-year-old male operator sustained minor injuries but refused medical treatment. The 30-year-old male passenger was transported to the regional hospital with what is believed to be a dislocated hip. Charges are pending for both males. The incident remains under investigation. On Monday at 1:25 p.m., police were called to Macaulay Avenue residence for an assault. A 21-year-old male was arrested for assaulting his mother's boyfriend as well as for threats in violation of a court order. The accused was held in custody for a court appearance. At 4:33 p.m., police were called to St. Malachy's High School, where two males aged 18 and 16 were arrested for causing a disturbance by fighting. Both males were released and will appear in court at a later date. At 7:36 p.m., police were called to the area of Queen Street for a fight between a male and a female. A 24-year-old female was arrested for an assault on another female with what is believed to be pepper spray. The accused was released and will appear in court at a later date. At 10:15 p.m., police responded to a single vehicle collision involving a motorcycle at the western end of the Reversing Falls Bridge. The male driver was sent to hospital with serious but not believed to be life-threatening injuries. Alcohol is believed to be a factor. The incident remains under investigation. At 10:41 p.m., a 21-year-old male was arrested at a Jack Road residence after the complainant reported that he had been contacting her while on a court order not to do so. He was held in custody for court. At 3:35 a.m. this morning, police were called to Victoria Street residence for an assault. A 29-year-old female was arrested for assaulting her boyfriend, who was also arrested for an outstanding committal warrant. The male sustained minor injuries, and the female was later released on conditions and will appear in court at a later date. And this will conclude the media report for Tuesday, May the 19th. Have a great day and be safe.